Thank you again for coming on, dude. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah,
I do. I caught you guys a couple of times live, Mapache,
cool.
and I really dig the stuff, man. And I'm glad that you
Thanks.
came on. So thank you again, dude.
Thank you.
So when did you start playing music, dude?
Uh, I really started playing, I guess, when I was a freshman in high school. I took drum lessons as a kid when I was maybe 10 years old. I started taking drum lessons until I was about 15 or so. And then started playing guitar and other things. My dad's a musician, so I mean, music's always kind of been around my house and my life since I was little.
Sure, definitely. How
But
big of an influence was he on your taste in music and your influences within music?
very big, yeah. I mean, all of my all the music I listened to was, well, that's not true, but most of the first, the early music that I listened to was from my dad. Whatever he would listen to, I would listen to. So I would say he's a big influence on what I was listening to. Of course, when I got into high school, I listened to all sorts of music that your parents dislike, as most high school kids do. But all the stuff that I was born into listening to was from my dad, so I'd say it was a big influence.
Yeah, it's definitely how it goes. I mean, and I can only imagine from a being a child of a musician. I mean, it's doubled up, but like definitely you listen to what your parents listen to, and then eventually you form your own thing. But I feel like everybody eventually goes back to what they listened to when they were when they were youths. You know?
Yeah, I mean, every time I listen to My Chemical Romance or any of that stuff that I listened to in high school, I'm just as touched by it. I still love it. I mean, in a different way now. I don't. I listen to it maybe once a year, but I still, it brings me back to those times, and I love it. Like
And it
back
remind
home.
it, that's the one that reminds you of your father the most. My Chemical
Well,
Romance,
that
yes.
reminds me of my what I listened to in high school. Yeah.
No, that is really cool, man. So what's the first band that you were in? What was the first
First band
real deal? Yeah.
well, I guess define real deal, because I
I
mean,
mean, just
I
when
don't even know if currently I'm real deal at all yet. So
I think it's all subjective. No, I meant just
yeah,
like just a couple of people
first
that
official
you
band. Yeah.
quote unquote,
Um,
sure.
yeah. The first band I had was called The Rhodes, and I think I was a freshman in high school, and I had just started playing guitar. I had been taking drum lessons for a handful of years, and just started playing guitar. And it was just me and my friend in high school. Um, and yeah, it was awesome. The amount of enthusiasm that you have for anything at that age, when you first get into something like that, you like any sort of hobby really, but especially music is just like it's incredible.
Yeah.
The amount of time you spend staying up late writing songs, that people just eventually stop doing. So yeah, that was a fun time. The roads.
Do you feel like you've lost that sense in some of a sense?
Well, I've definitely lost some parts of it. I definitely don't stay up late every night trying to write songs anymore, or not nearly as much as I used to. I wouldn't necessarily say that means that the enthusiasm is gone, but I guess just I don't know, my life is a lot more structured now too in a lot of ways. I have routines now that when I was in high school, it was all, I mean, I was doing a lot more kind of exploring and adventuring and things that were, not as scheduled. And so I didn't really have, that many places to be other than school and home eventually, so it was just a lot more open ended, you know.
Yeah, less responsibilities for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely. I see. What kind of stuff were you getting into as a youth in high school?
We lived near this dam called Devil's Gate Dam. We spent a lot of time there, uh, crawling through tunnels and walking around. There's a lot of there's a lot of really beautiful nature around where we live. So we would go, we would hike a lot. where I grew up, um, right below Angeles Crest Highway. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of average youth, mischievous activities, things like that. Um, my siblings were all grown up for the most part and out of the house by the time I was in high school. I have 3 older siblings. So it was, I had a lot of alone time. And, my parents really busy, as a lot of parents are. It's just like, it was like a lot of alone time and a lot of time with your friends, which I did really well with. I thought it was awesome. It was very creative time, Yeah.
Yeah, what's the age difference between the oldest and you? Because you are the youngest, right?
I'm the youngest, yeah. I have my older sister. Let's see, the oldest is late 30s. I'm not sure even exactly how old uh, he is, but my oldest brother is late 30s. I'm 26, so it's about a 10-year gap.
That's major. That's a lot of years.
Yeah, it's big, and and it's kind of my older sister is about 4 years older than me, and then the brother above her is about 4 years older than her, and my oldest brother is about 3 or 4 years older than that. So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so you just got like, reign over the house. You're like, whatever, I'll do, I'll do
Yeah,
whatever I please.
exactly. Yeah. By that time, my parents were pretty much checked out. They had gone through 3, full. I mean, and my siblings were not easy children at all. They were next level. So yeah, things were definitely uh, pretty mellow by the time I was around.
Do you consider yourself mellow, or were you as a kid in your years growing up?
I was very mellow. Um, I mean, I had a lot of freedom. I had a ton of freedom as a kid, and I think that usually makes kids feel mellow. They don't, I didn't. I snuck out a few times. I did lots of things, but I never got like addicted to them because I could always just do them and get away with it, and it was really easy. I didn't really get disciplined that much, so kind of didn't appeal to me after a while. I was like, well, breaking the rules isn't so great if you're not even going to get in trouble for it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I was very mellow. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's just a major age difference. And so, how is the relationship between you and your oldest siblings now? I mean, because you guys are kind of, as you age, the gap between the years seems to narrow. If you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah,
it seems like
totally.
it's like, okay, like I'm not a child anymore, and you're not a young adult. We're
Yeah,
kind of
definitely.
adults together.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. I think that's been really good for everyone's relationships in the family because, yeah, levels the playing field a little bit. But everyone's very close. All the siblings are really close and have good relationships.
That's good. That's important.
Yeah,
A strong relationships with your siblings is
yeah,
very important. Definitely.
yeah.
Me and my brother, on the other hand, not no, no, no. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. Love you, Zach, but he doesn't listen to this. I ask him every week. I say, hey, did you listen to it? He's like, oh, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He wouldn't even know that we're talking about him right now.
It's classic.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah.
So, anyways, man. So you and Clay Finch were
Uh,
in a band before Mapache, before Grateful Shred, and
right.
that was called the Melvin Dew.
Right. Yeah, that was in high school.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so was that after? That was obviously after Rhodes.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of almost. Yeah, like right after. I had the roads in ninth grade or so, ninth and 10th grade, and then I think I met Clay when I was. Well, I knew Clay when I was in middle school. We used to skateboard together a lot, hang out.
Oh, so
But
you
we
were a
started.
skate kid. That's what
We
you.
were. Yeah. That was
Oh.
that was kind of. I went from that to music, kind of. I was really into skateboarding, and
They kind
then
of share the same. I mean, they kind of overlap in a way.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean, a lot of my friends that were skateboarders were, into music in some way.
At least listening to it or like exploring new
Yeah,
stuff or playing it. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I think Clay and I started playing music together when I was in about 10th grade. So, right after I had just, formed my first band and started to play guitar and things. And then, yeah, we made the Melvin Do. Um, and that was our group for the few years we were in high school until Clay and there was one other guy who played with us in that band, but both of them were a year older than me, and they both went off to college. And that was kind of the end of that band. Just
That
a quick,
was a pause, if you will.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Where did the name, the Melvin Dew, come from?
Uh, I can barely remember now. It comes from for some reason we took it from the live action Scooby Doo movie that came out. I don't know when, but and I don't know why we did that. Um, we must have had some brilliant reason for wanting to use that as our band name, but I don't know. It just kind of happened.
But of course, there's and for the people who don't know how this is spelled, it's DOO,
Right.
not
Yes.
DEW.
Scooby Doo, but Melvin did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. I just
Well,
want to set the record straight on that.
yeah, in the movie, there's a character named Melvin Dew who appears for like 2 seconds. Is his one line, and we must have just thought it was so amazing, and we had to name our band after that.
So amazing until you get the cease and assist. Hey, do not do this
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, we never heard from any Melvin Dews or anybody.
I penned that name and this is an issue. I will see you in court.
Yeah. That would have been the best thing that ever happened to us, honestly. I wish that did happen.
Yeah, good publicity, right?
Yeah.
Really get the name out there. So and when Clay and this other unnamed gentleman of the group,
Emmett. Yeah, his name was Emmett.
Emmett, yes,
His name is Emmett still.
still is, hasn't changed it. He's coming on next week, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
I'll chat about the I'll show him this as we're talking. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is actually the story behind the name.
Yeah.
But you went on a mission trip, correct, to Mexico?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, I was born into the Mormon religion. My mom grew up she was also born into it with her parents, and then she married my dad, he's a Italian American Catholic, nothing to do with the Mormon church, but they got married, had me, and I was just raised going to church every week. And it's a big thing in that religion. If you're a young man, you kind of go. Everyone's expected to go
On the mission.
on a mission. Yeah. So I did when I was 18. From ages 18 to 20, I was in Mexico. And yeah.
I guess I didn't really understand. It's like, okay, now that makes sense. Yeah, that's your thing. Did you choose to go to Mexico, or what did they say that you're going to Mexico?
Oh, did I pick the place, you mean?
Yeah, did you? Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't select where you go. They assign you to a place. So you like fill out an application or whatever, and then they tell you, okay, you're going to Pocatello, Idaho, or wherever you end up going.
Sure. So you were with another guy, I'm assuming, yes?
Yeah, you have a companion that you're with everywhere you go the whole time, and it changes while you're there. You switch companions every couple of months or so.
Who was your favorite companion?
Well, I had a lot of really good. I met a lot of really good people. Some that I still keep in touch with today. I don't have a favorite, but I have some that there were definitely some that saw the thicker times for sure. Like my first companion was from Sonora. He didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Spanish, and those are the ones that see you struggle to make it work when you're 18 and you're living in Mexico, and no one is speaking English, and it's not touristy Mexico. There's no. We were in the middle of nowhere, and you know, those people really. You get close to someone when you have to. And they're the ones taking care of you. In all those ways. So,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of good people.
yeah, you'll find a way to communicate if you really want to, even if you don't
Mhm.
speak the same language. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, people communicated with each other before language existed, for sure.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
figure it out.
How much of a departure was it from where you grew up in LA to being there in Mexico?
It was completely different. Yeah, it was a. I mean, I grew up in a pretty well-off town with, you know, decent circumstances for a young kid, and I lived in areas where people, didn't have proper housing or hygiene, or, you know, they lacked a lot of things, and it's just a very different. I mean, in pretty much in every way, it was different. Even though Los Angeles is so close to Mexico, and there's so much, Mexican culture in Los Angeles.
Heritage. Yeah,
It's
sure.
still it's still just, you could never prepare for it.
Yeah. Do you feel like that had a major part in forming who you are today and how you see things?
Definitely, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe one of the biggest things. I mean, it was just, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, what that experience is like, it's the most vulnerable thing you could possibly do, is just like strip yourself of any language, or um, any sort of basically comfort or confidence. And it's very humbling, and very it just kind of starts you fresh. You just completely, naked, alone in this in that world. And so that alone makes you change, makes you see things differently. Anything you thought was the way it was, is a challenge, to say the least. So,
I mean, that's really hitting the reset button. It's like, all right, blank slate.
yeah.
Do you feel like that it would have the same impact on you, say that, because you said you went from 18 to 20, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you went 24 to 26, do you think it would have the same effects that it did then as it would, transferring it over to 24 to 26 as opposed to
I don't
18
know.
to 20?
Maybe it's hard to say. 18 to 20, those are two pretty critical formative years as a young adult. So I don't know. When
Sure.
you get into 26, 27, people start to really get set in their ways. So it might be wouldn't be any less vulnerable, but my reactions to those kinds of things might be different.
Mhm. Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely. Man, yeah. I mean, and like what a time to go on an adventure like that. I mean,
Yeah,
just totally, yeah. It's pretty
yeah,
cool, man. That's cool. I think every young person needs some type of adventure like that, in those
yeah.
in those I mean, early 20s, late teens, early 20s, especially, or even later on, really.
Yeah.
And I know you don't agree with me on this, and I know, but the viewers won't know, or the listeners won't know, that you're like just telling me to like fuck off silently, but
You read my mind exactly.
no,
No.
no, I saw your finger is what it was, but whatever,
Hmm.
man. um, no, but so you finished up the mission, and then you came back to LA, and then did you just pick up music from there, like right where you left off, basically?
That was the plan the whole time. But when I got back, the other guy we were playing with, in the Melvin Dew, he had gone to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and he wasn't really planning on coming back. He had formed his own group and kind of made his life, kind of got settled over there. So it was just me and Clay, and we started playing shows. We didn't care. We were just ready to play. So we booked shows as Sam and Clay. That was our band name for a little while. And we were just, grinding without really having any sort of direction. And then eventually we kind of got our feet on the ground, and got the Mapache thing going.
In due time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So did your involvement with the Grateful Shred happen before Mapache?
That was actually after.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So we had Mapache going for maybe a year or so. I could be wrong on the timing is a little foggy, but it could have been like a year or so that we had been playing as Mapache around town, and we had met Austin McCutcheon, and him and I started playing Grateful Dead songs together, and we put together a set of all Dead stuff for his solo band set at Echo Park Rising, I think it was. And we just did a set of all Dead songs, and then it kind of just snowballed, and then we were doing both at the same time, Shred and Mapache, and that's what we did for 4 or 5 years until beginning of last year.
Definitely. Yeah. So it was kind of just a by chance thing that you got involved with it.
It was definitely an accident. Yeah, it's about as accidental as it can get. I mean, it started off not even just like completely unintentional.
Definitely. Now, did you bring Clay into it as well? Like, hey, you should come jam.
Yeah. So after we did that first show, we did another one, and we had a bunch of friends come and sit in and play on a couple songs, and Clay came and played, and then after that we just started having he's always been in the family and all in the friend in that whole group of friends, and we just as soon as we started touring, it was like everybody's involved fully. So
wow. Yeah. Do you feel that the best Grateful Shred shows were in the Grateful Dead parking lots?
Well, I think we only did one of those actually, but
really,
yeah, honestly,
okay.
we just did the one. I think so, unless I'm not remembering correctly. But we did the one at the Hollywood Bowl in the parking lot, and that was really fun. It was really fun. It was also a lot of work, so it's hard to say. Some of the really fun shows are when you play multiple nights in the city. Like we did a lot of 2 nights in Brooklyn or 3 nights in Brooklyn or something like that, and those were really fun because the whole trip was really fun because you got to spend the full day in New York and hang out without having to drive or load out or load in. Everything just kind of
stays
in one place, and that's really fun, and it's really relaxed, and everyone's kind of feeling fresh, and so those are really fun.
There's a lingering feeling in the back of your mind, like, gosh, shit, like this is fun, but you gotta like set up this shit and like load
totally.
in.
No joke. I mean, that's definitely it's in everyone's mind. It's like, okay, we gotta load. Yeah, especially in that band that there's 6 people playing, and there's a Leslie, and there's like 5 amps and drum set. It's like it's a lot of shit to load in now. So.
How did you get power in the parking lot show during that parking
Someone
lot
brought
show?
a generator. I don't know if we borrowed it from someone, or I can't remember, but we had a generator. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
There's a really long extension cord.
Yeah. I don't even. I don't even remember.
Plugged into one cigarette lighter.
Yeah. Exactly.
No, that's really cool. Was that your first tour that you did? Was with Grateful Shred?
Actually, our first tour, I believe, was with the Alalas as Mapache. I think that was our first tour ever.
That you did yourself. This is okay.
Yeah, I mean, before when we were in high school, when we would play, the farthest we ever went was a couple hours out of town. But our first like real tour where we had multiple cities and multiple states and things, that was we opened for the Alalas as Mapache, and that was really fun.
Very nice.
It was all in the Pacific Northwest, and it was like late September, so it was just a really nice time and in nice places. It was good
to be up there for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of trees. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the gist.
Yeah, I mean, we've done tours in like along the East Coast in January, and that's just like
Cold.
brutal. I mean, yeah, we've
Sure.
had some sketchy times in the snow for sure. So we're always stoked when we can do it.
Sketchy times as in like, oh shit, we're stuck, or like,
Yeah, oh shit, we're crashing, and we got in a really bad accident in Canada actually, in the middle
really?
of this really long. It was like a 2.5 month tour or something on the East Coast. It was like the whole U.S., but it started on the East Coast, and we were driving from Toronto to Michigan, I think, and it was just near whiteout conditions on the freeway, and it was this big 40-car pileup. It was terrible.
I'm assuming you added to that, yes?
What's that?
Did you add to that 40
Oh
pile?
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. It was
Um,
scary. We got hit multiple times
from
until
like
eventually.
crashing into somebody else and somebody else
Yeah,
running
so
into you.
we hit somebody in front of us, um, and then people just kept kind of hitting us from behind, and we couldn't see anything because it was completely white out the back windshield. So you would see nothing until you see the hood of a car, 150 feet away from you, and then it hits you. So
Yeah.
we kind of had to wait until there was a time when we stopped getting hit, and then we got out of the car and just kind of sprinted to the side of the road, hoping that no one was coming through. But I mean, there were like semis flying by, just no traction. I don't know what we were thinking. We thought, oh, this is normal. This is what bands do. You just got to drive in the ice in Canada, in our little rental car. And it was pretty ridiculous. But we
Yeah.
were okay. We made it out.
So
Not everyone was okay, but we were okay.
yeah.
So,
Was that just you and Clay, or
just me and Clay, yeah.
in the car?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you get full
Totaled the rental
insurance?
car.
Yeah.
We did get
Oh,
insurance, yeah.
okay. Ooh,
It was
thank
funny.
goodness.
We thought about it for a sec. When they offered us the insurance, I think we almost didn't get it or something, but we were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just get the $1 million insurance. Then we can just drive it into an ocean or something when we're done. And we were obviously very glad that we got the insurance.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that thing, I mean, it was completely wrecked. It was like, you barely tell it was a vehicle by the end of it.
Were you renting gear, I'm assuming, too, since you were starting on the East
No,
Coast?
I mean, all we had was
Two
at that point
guitars.
when we were touring, yeah, it was just our guitars. We didn't tour with very much. I had a good pair of cowboy boots that I got in Mexico while I was there on my mission. Those got lost somehow in the accident. I don't know if they flew out one of the windows, because I mean, all the windows were smashed in, the windshields, the back, or not the front windshield, the back windshield. And so I could have flown out somewhere, or maybe got left in the rental car. I don't know what happened. But other than that, all our gear was fine. We had some good indestructible cases, which is good. So.
Good.
Yeah.
So you guys got out of the car eventually, yeah? And then you're just like waiting for everything to stop?
Yeah, well, we waited for a minute inside the car just to in case we were going to get hit. But there wasn't, the more you wait, the more, there's definitely cars coming on the freeway at some point. So we kind of just had to guess and just run, to the side, and we made it. But that was scary.
You had to wait for a tow truck, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in that kind of pileup, when so many cars are involved, all that kind of stuff it's such a shit show that, you have to get EMTs to go to every single person involved, which, if each car has 1 or 2 people in it at least, that's like 80 people that you have to go and check to make sure they don't have concussions, get, all the insurance and everything like that. It's just such a mess. So they sent us all to this little gas station that was just up the road, and the gas station put us in like their break room or whatever, and they like made us some soup. I mean, we were in Woodstock, Ontario. Everyone's so nice, just these really beautifully nice Canadian people helping us out. They made us soup, and everyone was kind of sitting and just resting from it while the police and EMTs and everybody dealt with everything else on the site. But I mean, it's such a mess. I don't even know where you start. Tow trucks and doctors and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. So did you finish off the tour in another car? I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yes, we did. Let's see. We had to cancel, I think, 3 shows, the next three, because we were supposed to play that night, and then I think the next 2 nights as well. But we flew from there to Chicago and waited for the band to get there for a day, and then picked up the tour from there. Um, so we needed a day or two to rest. I mean, it's pretty. It messed me up pretty good. Not physically, mostly just mentally, emotionally. It was really hard driving anywhere after that. Every
Sure.
time we get in the car, it's like, it's scary. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm glad you're okay, man. And
yeah, me too. Yeah,
I'm glad you're sitting here telling this tale right now.
yeah. Thank God Clay was driving. Had it been me, who knows? Maybe I would have sped a little faster than him, or who knows? It all worked out perfectly, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Can't get better than that, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I bet you were shaken up. So are you still a bit skittish driving now?
I've kind of forgotten about it. I think my autopilot has come back a little bit, and yeah, I'm a little more comfortable. Certainly in the snow, I'm definitely still way touchy and not very comfortable.
At
I mean,
ease,
I
yeah.
haven't driven in the snow in a long time, but we've kind of vowed to never do those kinds of tours. It's just not worth it to us. We don't. There's no reason for us to be driving a pickup truck through a whiteout in some small town in Canada. It's too dangerous, and we're not from that kind of world. Some people learn that kind of stuff from growing up. They learn how to drive in those kinds of conditions. Yeah, we'll do California tour in the winter, and then we'll hit the East Coast in the summer somewhere. It's nice.
Summertime coming for you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. Not rolling it out, just seasonal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, man. Um, what's your least favorite Grateful Dead song?
Boy, maybe all of them. No, I'm kidding. My least favorite Grateful Dead song. It's funny because having learned so many of them, playing them with the Dead cover band, uh, there are some that I really don't like to play, even though I like the song. But playing them is just kind of a drag sometimes. So it's weird. It's like, oh, I really like that song, but it's my least favorite to play for whatever reason. Maybe my least favorite Grateful Dead song is playing in the band. I just don't like that song. There's nothing about it that it's my tickles my fancy in any way. I just don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. To the best of your knowledge, do the Grateful Dead know about the Grateful Shred?
Some popular Instagram accounts with Grateful Dead and them definitely do. But I don't know. I haven't really heard of any of the members of the band knowing about it. We've played a couple times as Mapache up at Phil Lesch's place in Marin, Terrapin Crossroads, and we've played like with him on stage. We know he's seen our stuff, but we've never done a shred thing where he's been involved. So I don't know if he does.
Well, I can tell you with certainty that it's Bob Weir's behind all these accounts on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he's a mastermind. I believe that.
Definitely. So he does know. It's actually him and Mayor. They kind of share duties on it. It's like they share admin.
Yeah, that makes that that answers a lot of questions. Explains a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of some inside baseball for you, though. Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Grateful Dead song? If you have one that you really like, either listening to or playing.
Yeah. Let's see. I really love Sugary, that song. I really love Crazy Fingers, and I really love Unbroken Chain. Those are probably my 3 tops. I don't know. There's so many that I really love. I really get the most into of all Grateful Dead related stuff, I think I get the most into Jerry Garcia band stuff. I tend to, I mean, that's what I listen to the most and what I like the most. I really like the Grateful Dead, but I'm not, I can't call myself as much of a Deadhead as most uh, Deadheads that I know. You know, I mean, I really like it and I do listen to it quite often, but I'm certainly not as big a head as maybe someone who's in a band like the Grateful Shred should be. But
We got to
yeah.
edit that out, man. You can't be saying that publicly.
I
Dude.
know, yeah. You have to just bleep it, the whole thing.
If you were in another tribute band for another band, what would that band be?
Dido. You know what? Actually, I am in another tribute band. I play in this band called George's Lord with my friend Anna, my dear friend Anna, who has housed me. She's been like a stepmother to me, but she learned how to play the drums when she was pregnant a few years ago. And she and I both love the Beatles, and we made a little band that we're going to play tonight. Actually, the first time we're getting together to play in years. But
Oh, awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome, man.
it's really
So
fun.
it's just John Lennon stuff?
Yes, exactly. I couldn't figure out how to answer that one at first.
No. It's great.
Yeah.
No, Paul is my favorite. So that is great that you guys are covering his songs. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's all Ringo's good.
Sneaky fifth option, Yoko. A lot of people don't know.
Is Lord.
People have said that. People really like that's their favorite Beatle. Mine is Pete Best, but
yeah, he's got a great solo career, Pete Best.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any problem with that. I think Yoko is badass, and that's definitely a valid choice, I would say.
It's a valid choice. It's not my choice. It's a valid choice, though.
Yeah.
I don't. I respect it. I respect.
Are you on the anti-Yoko kind of killed the Beatles side? That's also very valid, by the way.
It's true. It's true. You raise a good point. I wouldn't say I'm anti Yoko, but I would have this joke going with my buddy Josh. Like every time that we'd go into a record store, and he'd be looking at a record like a few aisles away. I would like walk up to like favorite Beatle right here, and it would just be like a Yoko record, and we laughed and laughed. No, it's I'm not really a huge Beatles fan, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, I'm not. I would say, like you are to the Grateful Dead. Like it's like not. I'm not the big. I mean, like you gotta appreciate it, of course, because it's the biggest band that will ever be. Period. Like there's nobody that's ever gonna touch them ever. I mean, even if you don't like him, there's a decorum of respect. I'm not saying that I'm that person, but it's like even if you don't, it's like well, this is the most popular band in the world for a reason. Some things are popular for a reason, you know? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. How do you feel about John Mayer being a part of Dead and Company? Do you feel like it's a good fit?
Honestly, for where the Dead's at, yeah. I mean, I don't like it. But it's like, I mean, it's not that shocking. I mean, I feel like people are so shocked by the fact that they would have John Mayer in the band, and I think that I mean, I think it makes sense. But yeah, I'm not necessarily into it. I like a very small amount of John Mayer's music, I think, but I wouldn't say I'm a real fan. A lot of his stuff really does kind of get to me and annoy me a little bit. So I don't know. I just let them do. You know, he's happy doing it, I'm sure.
Sure.
And that's fine with me.
This is the hot button topic that is being discussed while you're playing in the parking lot. Other people are debating this. Yeah, I don't know if you know. You don't know this, but that's what's going on. For whoever's not paying attention to you when you're playing in the Grateful Dead parking lots, and it's just like two dudes like, dude, I'm telling you, man, Mayer's not a good fit. And the guy's like, give the kid a chance. It's a whole thing. I mean, you just pass by all these people. It's like somebody selling drugs. People are talking about John Mayer, drugs, Mayer. Some dude saying that he's
Yeah.
Jerry Garcia's cousin.
I
He
love
looks
it.
like him. He looks like him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, honestly, if you had asked me that maybe 2 years ago, I probably would have given you a laundry list of technical reasons and explanations of my whole thesis on it. But at this point, I just let them, let them do their thing. It's
Sure,
great. Not for
sure.
me, but go just do it.
You're a left-handed guitarist, correct?
Yeah.
Now, when you initially picked up the guitar, were you trying to play it right-handed? And then you're
Well,
like, this
my
is much better?
it was another kind of accidental thing. My dad's a right-handed guitar player, and I played drums first. I didn't really want to play guitar. I wanted to play drums. And whenever I would play guitar, it would just sort of be casually. I was never trying to learn anything really. I've never really had any sort of lessons or anything with it, so no one really was there to tell me how to do it. And my dad never corrected me, but I just played his guitars, and I was naturally left-handed, and his guitars were all right-handed. So I just kind of went for it in that way, and it just stuck. I don't know. I never even really thought about playing left-handed, and I love playing this way. Thank God no one told me you know, to play it right or whatever, and yeah, it just kind of stuck.
When you play drums, is it also left-handed?
No, it's right-handed.
Whoa, all right.
Yeah, it's really weird.
That's
I'm totally
interesting.
mixed up.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
we're the opposite. You and I, left on drums, right on guitar.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I always thought that if you're right-handed, then you should use your right hand to press down the notes, instead
That's
of
that's a
drum the
very
top.
interesting way of looking at it. I don't think
So
anybody's
to me,
ever.
it's totally logical. I was like, well, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to, it's easy to do this, use my hand that's not as strong to do that. And then the hard stuff I'll do with my dominant hand. So,
Look, on paper, it makes total sense. I
yeah,
can't debate it.
good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't agree with that, but I'm with you, man. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
But I do a lot of things left-handed, and a lot of things I'm just kind of mixed up. I had a surgery on my thumb when I was like 4 years old, and I had to have a cast that covered my entire right hand for a long time. And it was right in critical, dexterity development in my childhood. So I started to get real mixed up, just doing stuff, left-handed, right-handed, whatever.
But you made your way, right?
Yeah, it worked out. Still alive. So.
Good. I mean, then still kicking. Okay, so you guys, right? So right when you got back from Mexico is when you started Mapache, correct?
Yeah.
And what is the writing process like when you guys are creating new songs, or even when you wrote older songs? Like, would you come up with melody and Clay would come up with lyrics, or vice versa?
Um, well, it's different. It is different kind of every time. Mostly Clay and I write on our own, and then we'll bring it together and sort of tie up the loose ends, and then that will be the song, as opposed to both of us sitting down and starting from scratch together. We have done that, and that is really, it's more fun for sure. Um, but it is really comfortable to, when you're by yourself, you're mostly comfortable with yourself to, you can trust yourself to be vulnerable and experiment with things. So we write on our own, and then we'll kind of bring it together. And it's different. Sometimes I have, pages, books full of lyrics that haven't been put into songs, and I have, dozens of, more than that, a ton of audio recordings of random melodies that I've been, that I've come up with over the years, and it's just kind of random how they come together, if they ever do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not so much one before the other. They just kind of get put together at some
It's
point.
like a collage, like a puzzle. You're piecing
Honestly,
it together.
yeah.
Got it. Now, when you're recording these melodies, are you just kind of humming it, or are you putting any just random lyrics to it at the time and then kind of filling it out later on?
I mostly hum. Sometimes, you throw in random lyrics and sing about nothingness, but yeah, for the most part, it's a hum, and you can kind of, each song kind of has a mood, um, at least melodically. When you have a melody in your head, it can kind of give you a mood, and that helps you put the right lyrics to it. Because I have, people in general, myself included, have so many moods, um, so many different emotions and things to, identify with that. You kind of have to wait for the right time to put them out. That's why it's hard to just sit down and write one. It rarely happens that way, where you just sit down and then half an hour later you have a song with lyrics and full structure and everything.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, and that's with anything. I mean,
Yeah,
art of any kind, really.
right.
It's just very hard to get it. Like, nothing's gonna flow that great. I mean, and if it does, like, that's fantastic. But that's like once in a blue
Yeah,
moon, if ever, for some people.
right.
So you're lucky that you had that at least once. So that's great.
Yeah. Cheers.
So when did you start seeing some recognition for the band? Like, when did that kind of start coming into play, that you started going on tour and whatnot and playing shows?
Yeah. Well, we met Dan Horn. We used to play at this bar called the Lost Night in Echo Park. It's not that anymore, I don't think. But we used to play there like once a week. We would go to the open mics, and then we started getting our own shows there. And it was loud and nobody listened, and it was, really fun in that way. You can kind of just, you know, enjoy getting eaten alive by the crowd, and it was a funny and fun time. Anyway, we met Dan Horn there, and that was kind of the push off moment. We met him, and we met Brent Radmaker, they were both very key in kind of getting us started. Brent especially, because he was kind of he pushed us into a lot of really great situations and really helped us get a start. But we did some recording with Dan. We made an album, and then we got some interest from some small record label called Spiritual Pajamas, and we put it out there. And it kind of all simultaneously was just kind of coming together. We did that tour with the Alalas, became friends with them, and their people, and you keep meeting people, and everybody keeps helping each other out, and just kind of keeps going.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, was it through All Laws that you met the great Tim Hill?
Yes. Yeah, he was playing keys with them. Ever since we met him, he's been playing keys with them. I think we kind of met him right around the time he started doing that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love Tim Hill. He's come on here. He's a great fucking guy. I
Yeah.
can't say enough nice things about him. Really talented guy. And the two times I've seen you guys play live with All Laws and Tim Hill, I believe Tim opened up, and then you guys came out and you guys all duetted a song together, and then he kind of took a step back, and then you guys played, and then it was All Laws after that.
Yeah. We did that for a full tour in 2019, actually, kind of right before everything came crashing down. We did a tour of Europe and a tour of the United States like that, and it was really fun. And it was that same kind of format where Tim and us, and then the Alalas, and it was amazing. I mean, it was our first time going to Europe, which was amazing, and they've been many times. And by that time, we were really close to those guys. So I mean, it was just a ridiculous trip with your friends to Europe and across the country. It's really good.
Great guys. Miles has also been on the podcast.
Yeah.
It was nice of to come on. Very nice of him to do that. What are there any moments that stand out for you on that Europe tour?
Boy,
either playing or downtime?
So many. I mean, one that comes to mind is I went for a long run through Prague one morning, The good thing, we were on a bus on that tour, so the great thing about bus tours is you often wake up in the morning in the city that you're at, as
Already
opposed
there.
to when you're in a car. Yeah, you don't have to drive for the first half of the day. So, anyways, I went through for a long run through Prague, listening to Shania Twain, and I just like saw so much of the city, and it just like, I don't know. It was one of the first moments where I could uh, be fully aware that I was in Europe and I was in a place like Prague, and that was a very, memorable thing.
How big is Prague?
I don't know, honestly.
You ran the whole thing. You just ran around. You're like,
I,
all
I
right.
might have. Yeah, I don't know.
The whole whatever city border.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
I mean that must be neat. So how long was this run? About an hour? Do you consider yourself a good runner?
um, I guess. I mean, I run quite a bit. I've always loved it. Um,
Is that your main exercise that you go to? Is cardio?
Pretty much. I really like to swim, although I don't do it very often, but that might be my favorite, most enjoyable exercise, I would say, is swimming. Yeah.
Swimming's great.
Yeah.
Underrated. A lot of people kind of forget about swimming. I definitely have, and
Yeah. I
I
mean, if you
envy
don't
the
have
people
a
who have a
pool,
pool.
it's hard to get there, unless you go to the public pool, which I used to do when I lived in New Orleans, but it was kind of like down there, the weather was so crazy. A lot of days I would walk to the pool and then, I'd get into the pool and then 5 minutes later you get thunder and lightning and everyone has to get out of the pool. And so it's kind of hard to get the timing right, but
Now,
yeah.
what drew you down there to Louisiana?
My girlfriend went to grad school there. She's actually still in grad school. She's finishing in a month, but she went to grad school there. So during the pandemic, I kind of moved out there with her and just kind of hung out in New Orleans for,
Oh, that's cool,
you know,
man. A
half a
nice
year. So yeah, it
change
was
of
great.
pace. Well,
Totally. Yeah, it was perfect.
yeah, congrats to your girlfriend, man. That's big stuff, dude. Good for her.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Show her the podcast and get,
Yeah.
I don't want you to say the name, but what just
I'm gonna make her watch the whole
good
thing
job.
just for that one little bit.
Yeah, that's it. But don't tell her the
Yeah.
timestamp though. It's not.
Right. Yeah.
It
Just
needs to be
go.
secretive. I need these
Yeah.
views, Sam. Okay, I need them.
Yeah. No,
This
I
is
got you.
crucial.
I got you.
I'm trying to monetize this stuff. Okay.
Dude, got the wrong guy on the show for monetizing.
No, we'll get it. We'll get it. I'll talk to Bob. He'll like, oh,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
new box set out and stuff. It's all
Call
right,
Mayor and
whatever.
see if you can get some views.
In due time, this is the
Yeah.
Zoom call after this, so
Yeah. Okay, good.
the day is not done. Yeah.
Don't tell him what I said.
No. I'll just Well, they when he listen, like, okay, cool. Which is gonna be better. They don't even know what you said about them.
Yeah.
They're still plugging the stuff.
Right.
It's great. It's more money in my pocket. I don't care.
Yeah.
How was the recording process different from the self-titled to the Liberty Street? Because I heard that Liberty Street was recorded in a house and was at Dan Horn's house.
Yeah. So we moved into Dan's house in 2016, maybe. And his studio is attached to his house. And so when we were living there, we made the second record, and we would just go walk downstairs and start recording. Basically, it was really easy and
Hard commute.
yeah, tough commute. But our timing was just so open, which was totally crucial. The first record we did at Valentine Studios, which was really nice, but we were on a schedule. We were on a time crunch. Our engineer had to go home at a certain point, and
There's a lot of money involved. It was
yeah, I mean, we were paying quite a bit. I mean, we were paying for Dan's place as well, but it was just different because we lived there, and it was Dan owned the place, as opposed to Valentine, where it was somebody else's place, and we were just in and out for recording. But
it's a different vibe. It's a different
vibe for sure. It was much more relaxed, much lower, less pressure
at Valentine. Yes.
at Dan's, I mean, because
I know
oh,
you meant. I know you meant.
yeah, less pressure at Dan's because it was just so, we were at home, we could stop recording in the middle of the night because we were in no one's way or anything. So that was really nice.
Yeah. Now I know you get asked this a lot. Do you ever see yourself implementing, or is there any room to implement percussion of some kind while playing live? Do you see
Yes.
that down the line?
Yeah, actually, last night we just did our first ever full band show. We did it on a live stream, a new streaming platform. But yeah, last night was our
Sam,
first.
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat what you said about the streaming platform? It
Oh
sounded like
yeah,
you said,
it's on a new streaming platform
oh, new. Okay.
called Blasucci. Yeah. But we
I
did it
just want to make
last
sure
night
that
as
plug was
a,
in there. I didn't want to, just,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, good. Got it
yeah,
out of the
good
way.
call.
Go ahead.
Right. But yeah, we did it at the Moroccan Lounge, and we, decorated the stage. There was no one there, but they filmed it there and streamed it live. So yeah, we're definitely kind of moving into that world of touring where we're with the band and stuff.
Awesome. So
Playing
it's
like
a,
guitar.
yeah, natural progression. Then it's going to turn into the Grateful
Yeah.
Shred again, and you're like, oh shit, we got to go back.
Right.
Too many people.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Okay, I like to wrap this up with some promo stuff. So you can find Mapache's music on all streaming platforms. It's everywhere. Whatever your favorite is, it's there. You can buy the self-titled record and Liberty Street both on shop.tikirocket.com for the hard copies of it, along with some t-shirts. Some cool t-shirts are there. And you guys are playing a real live show, an actual live show
Yeah, real
coming
life.
up, real live, and it's with the best Tim Hill and all Allahs. I mean,
Yeah.
can you get any better than that?
Whole
At
roster.
Yeah, I mean, those are the hot ticket. Those are the top
Heavy
three.
hitters. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And the people know this as well. That's at Gundalock Boon.
Gunlock Bunshu.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Boonshoe, but I was like, maybe I'll jump in on it. I appreciate it. Winery in Sonoma, California, socially distanced, outdoors. Coronavirus protocols, everything's kosher on that. At 5 p.m. was when the show starts. Now I know that May 28th is sold out, but May 29th was just added, and you could buy tickets at folkyeah.com.
Yep.
How stoked are you to play a show live?
Oh, we can't wait.
With
Yeah.
with the top tiers.
Yeah, with the heavy hitters. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. Yeah.
Cool, man. So
Yeah.
make sure you guys go and check that out. What else can we plug? Is there anything else that you would like to? Is anything else going on? Where can the people find the Grateful Shred music? There's a couple videos on YouTube. I know that.
Yeah, I think there might even be some music on Spotify.
Woo!
I know they put some stuff up in the past. Yeah. But nothing really. There's a 420 show. I think that's online that you can buy a ticket to, or somehow you can access the video of it.
You can buy.
Pre-recorded.
Yeah, you can buy to watch the stream that just happened.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it happened on 420. Okay.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
it's still up though.
Very good. So
Yeah.
make sure and check that out. Where can they find that though? Where's the place?
I would visit the Grateful Shred website, which I think is gratefulshredmusic.com.
But we're checking it out right now. But either way,
let me fact check that.
Yeah.
Gratefulshredmusic.com.
Boom.
That's
where the people can find it. Sam, thank you so much, sir. I will talk to you in a second.
Yeah.